It is the night before college football kicks off, and I realized I forgot to do my playoff bracket, so I'm going to do it right here, right now before the season kicks off tomorrow morning. Let's go ahead and start with the four teams that I think are going to get a bye in the playoffs. And the first team, the overall number one overall seed for me, is Clemson. I don't think they're the best team in the country. They're close, but I think that they definitely play the best or the easiest schedule relative to how good they are. They have a great quarterback in Kate Klubnik. They got some good receivers in now. They've got a lot of returning production, so I think they're going to get this number one spot, go undefeated in the regular season. I don't know how that ACC championship is going to go. I'm going to predict them to win it, so I think they're going to go undefeated coming into this playoff system. So that's why I have them here as the number one overall seed. I don't think they're going to drop a game to anyone in their conference. Moving on now to my number two seed, and that would be Penn State. Now, I think Penn State might be the best team in the country, but I do think they might pick up a loss during the season to like an Ohio State or an Oregon. So that's why I have them here at number two, but I think they're still going to be a really, really great team. Great running backs, great quarterback. They're going to round into form here at the end of the season. I think they're going to be really, really, really good. Number three, I have Georgia. Call me biased if you want. I am. So what are you going to do? I know I have LSU ranked above them in my preseason rankings, but I think Georgia's going to be a really good team. They have an easier schedule than LSU, I believe, so that's why I have them here ranked above LSU, and I think they're going to beat LSU in the SEC Championship game, which I'll talk about in another video. So in the number four spot, I have Notre Dame, which is interesting that Notre Dame can actually get a bye in this playoff system because you no longer have to win your conference championship game to get a bye in the playoffs. So I think Notre Dame's going to be really good. They don't play a conference championship game, so that's an extra just like plus for them to not have to play that extra game that I think will push them over the edge here. And they're going to win a lot of games. They might lose one game, kind of toss up between Miami and A&M. I think they might lose to A&M, but that might be their only loss. So that's where I have that game. So let's go on to the rest of the field. At number five, I have LSU. So this is where LSU comes into play. I think they are the best team in the SEC, but I think like I said, their schedule is going to be harder. I don't know if they have the same depth that Georgia has, so that's why I think they're going to be a little bit lower, but they're still a really dangerous team, and they're going to be up here against Boise State, the number 12 seed. Obviously, a G5 school has to get in. I have picked Boise State because I don't really see any other team from the G5 that I could pick winning. Maybe Tulane, but there's too many questions there. I know Boise State doesn't have Gentini anymore, but still I think they're going to be a really solid team. But I do think in this game, LSU is going to take it and probably take it pretty handedly. Moving on now to my number six seed, which would be Ohio State. I think they're going to be really, really good. They're going to be the runner-up for the Big Ten Championship game, I believe. And they're going to be going up against Illinois, who I think might actually steal the number three spot in the Big Ten because of their schedule. I think they might be undefeated other than the one game that they have against Ohio State. So I think Illinois might actually come into this playoff system with one loss, and then they're going to be rematching the team that beat them. And I think Ohio State's going to beat them again. So that's what I have here for this round of the playoffs. And obviously these are home games for the higher seeds. So this is at Ohio State, and this is going to be at LSU. So just something to note here. And then at the number seven, my number seven seed is the Texas Longhorns. Texas is really hyped up right now. I think they're ranked the number one team in the country. I still have some stuff to see, but obviously they're great. Steve Sarkisian is great. That team is going to be awesome. Arch Manning is probably going to be great as well. So we'll see, but I think they're going to be awesome. And they're going to be playing Oregon at home. So that's huge. I think that's going to be a huge advantage for them. And I think Texas is going to take this game. I think Texas is a better team. I trust them more in this position, but Oregon's still great. I think they're going to be right below Illinois or right above Illinois in the Big Ten. They do have a harder schedule, obviously, but I still think Oregon's going to be maybe a 1 to 2 loss team. So moving on now to my number 8 seed, and that's actually Arizona State. So that means that I have Alabama playing them, but I actually think that Arizona State's going to be the higher seed, which means Alabama's going to have to go to Arizona State to play this game, which I think is going to be really, really interesting. I think it's going to be closer than you might think, but I do think Alabama's going to pull it off in the end. So that leaves us with number 4, Notre Dame, playing against number 5, LSU, and I have LSU in this game. I think LSU is a better team, even though they're the lower seed, because I don't think Notre Dame plays as hard of a schedule, so I don't know if they're going to be as quality as this LSU. I think LSU is going to have more weapons. I don't trust that Notre Dame quarterback situation right now. That could change when we get into the season, but as of right now, I'm not sure who's going to be playing quarterback at Notre Dame, so that scares me. And I do think that LSU obviously has a great quarterback and some great weapons on, through the air. Defense is a question mark, obviously, still, and then running game, also a question mark, but I think they'll get it sorted out in the season. Then we have Clemson, the number 1 seed, playing against number 9, Alabama. Now, this might remind you of some of the classic games from the Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney time, and that's going to bring back some great memories. I actually think that Clemson's going to take this game against Alabama. Again, I think that there's a lot of great returning production. I think Clemson's still a really good team. So just because they don't play that hard schedule does not mean they're going to be not a quality team. I think they're going to take this one, and I think it's going to be a really, really solid, awesome, fun game. Moving on now, Georgia, Ohio State. We saw this game in 2022, and it came down to the very wire. I expect nothing less from this game here, and I think Georgia's going to take it once again. I kind of have to say that because I hate Ohio State and I love Georgia, so oh well. But I do think Georgia would win this game. Ohio State lost their coordinators, and if they got to this position, obviously they're going to be still good. But I do have a lot more faith in Georgia and the depth that they have and the players they have right now. But this could change, obviously, once we get to playoff time. And then I have Penn State playing against Texas, another absolutely incredible game, another really big test for Penn State that I think they're going to pass with flying colors. I think Penn State's going to win this game. And I think it's going to be another phenomenal game. A great helmet game. So, yeah, another big one. So that moves us on to the semifinals here, which means we're going to have LSU versus Clemson in a rematch of Week 1. And just a sneak peek, I haven't dropped my Week 1 predictions, but I do think that Clemson is going to beat LSU in Week 1. But I think LSU is going to get redemption here, get revenge in this playoff game. I think LSU is going to beat Clemson, and it's going to be an incredible game. I think all these games are going to be so good because the competitive balance in this season is so close. And that leaves us with Georgia versus Penn State. I think that Penn State's finally going to make it out of the semifinal round here. They're going to beat Georgia. I know it's sad for me. I love Georgia, but I can't pick them to go any further here. I trust Penn State more as a team at this point, so I think Penn State's going to move on to the national championship game against LSU. Both teams are going to be incredible. Obviously, they made it through this whole bracket, but I do think Penn State's going to end up with the win and become national championships, because if not this year, when they have a perfect opportunity, they finally got receivers, and we know they have 2 great running backs, and they just have an incredible defense. Everything leans that way. I have more faith in what they have there than what LSU has. There's more questions there, so I am going to go with Penn State. And that's why playoffs for the 2025-2026 season. Let me know how I did, and let me know what your playoff predictions are. So yeah, peace.